Pisces, what's going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. Happy day, new week. We're in our final week of Taurus, actually. It's been a really interesting, beginning of the zodiac year, I should say. Pisces and Aries brought a lot of water, fire element. It's heightened, kind of just like maximized some of the tension, frustration, aggression, emotion we've been feeling. And also that's been playing out in the day-to-day. We just had a full moon in Scorpio and Pluto moved into Aquarius. And it moved into Aquarius, back in November, but it just went into retrograde at the beginning of May. So it's really highlighting change. It's really highlighting places where that tension, frustration that we are experiencing needs a little extra attention, needs a little extra TLC, maybe more investigation as to whether it is worth your time, your energy, etc., or if it's just siphoning, taking, depleting you, etc. And it's not always easy, right? We're dealing with a lot of people that we care about, that we love, situations that we thought were going to work out a little bit differently than what they have. But the beauty of Pluto moving into Aquarius is it allows us to better align with the desires of our heart, right? The things that we want to see manifest in our life that maybe might not seem like the most realistic thing, but are actually bringing a lot of value and support. Those things that we can actually call into our life. So that's why I like to start off these readings with an energy cleansing, just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out any blocks, obstacles we might be coming into. And it's also a really good time to set your own intention for the reading, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings. And I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, etc. Or if you are looking for more of a rebalancing of self, mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are aligned in who we are, what we want, how things feel for us, etc. We're making choices that are actually leading to our abundance, that proverbial law of attraction. We need to be right with ourselves before we can draw in that happiness, abundance, prosperity. So I would love to help, support in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into this, Pisces. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama Love. All right, Pisces, I'm feeling like you're a little heated about something that you feel like you've worked through. You feel like, this happened, they did this, whatever the situation was, and you've made some level of peace around it in your mind, in your soul. It feels like it's resurfacing on some level, whether you're directly having conversation, communication with whomever the tension was with in the beginning, and you just feel like pissed. That's what I get. Not in this way that you're reacting inappropriately or in a way that you would be ashamed of. I don't get that vibe. I feel like you've done enough work or release around this to handle yourself appropriately. But I'm hearing like someone's lack of understanding, like them just being so completely ignorant, and it feels like a choice to be ignorant is like pissing you off, you know? I'm hearing there's a lot of confirmations coming through for you that you made the right choice, that you made the right decision. Also, when we get those confirmations, when we see those people or they say dumb shit or whatever it is, it can still be pretty triggering. And we're trying to still find the balance. The fire element has been heightened. We have a lot of planetary placements in fire, or in Aries, excuse me, right now. I guess fire signs, yeah. Mars is in Leo, which that's a lot of fire. And the thing is, like, Mars and Leo, it's like our ego. It's the way we want things in our life to move. And so when it's not happening accordingly, or we're dealing with people who are just pretending to whatever capacity, it can be really effing annoying. And especially because, like, you've raised the bar for yourself. You've raised the bar with whatever this situation was, forced you to be better, forced you to be stronger, not in a way that you wanted to, but you made a decision and you immersed yourself into something that I feel like is actually becoming pretty powerful for you. I feel like you're better off than someone else right now, and that's where this empathy is coming into play. But I also, I mean, here's the thing. Usually when we're attracting, well, I think just all the time, I think actually, and I think physics has proven this, it's like, if we're not being empathetic towards ourselves, how can we be empathetic towards someone else? Even if we do feel like they're in the wrong, right? Especially when we feel like they're in the wrong, especially when we feel like they deserve, you know, whatever's coming to them. But this is where, and I think this is a really hard lesson we're all learning in the collective right now in the astrology, i.e. Pluto tensely aspected to Black Moon Lilith, as well as the fortune point, Jupiter tensely aspected to Saturn. All those things are asking us to make changes that, like, we're being the better version of ourselves, right? Like, don't be an asshole, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, you know what I mean? Just like do it a little bit better this time. It's actually gonna work out better, you know? Or even get sucked into someone's toxic bubble, toxic world, right? Like, we know when people are trying to pull us in to play games, your intuition's on point. Maybe that's what you're dealing with, is someone's coming back around to like poke the bear a little bit to see where you're at. But again, it feels like it's in a really ignorant way. In an ignorant way that, like, I'm hearing they're so proud, like prideful, right? They have so much, maybe a little bit of gloating. I don't know if this is a competition between you and someone else. This could be family related. We have 10 of Pentacles on the board. Judgment, wake up call. Like, I feel like someone's flaunting something in front of you, or I don't know. It feels like there's a disconnect. It feels like there's a disconnect. And as much as you're like good for you about whatever you've achieved, you're still telling them the truth, is what it looks like. And maybe it could be done in a little bit of a softer way. I feel like you're kind of done and over with this person. You're totally fine to call them out. You're totally fine to call them out. And I do think they want something from you. I don't know if they're completely humbling themselves with a request to you. I don't get that per se. But they're still asking for something. They're still asking for something. And it looks like you're laying things out. Like, okay, if you want this, then this is how this is going to look. It holds their toes to the fire. It kind of puts them in a position I don't really think that they like, you know? I feel like it's a way where you're pumping the brakes on anything getting worse. Again, it's saying, I really hear this thing, Pisces, and not that you're necessarily an aggressive sign or whatever. We still have Saturn and the North Node in Pisces. So going back to that, how I was talking about, like, we just have to try to do it a little bit better this go around. And maybe it's annoying because this person's situation feels really arrogant. They feel like they're not acknowledging you or what happened, or, you know, whatever. I mean, they have the Knight of effing Pentacles in their energy. So it's taking them a long effing time, right? This is Earth energy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, doesn't have to be, but it's also this value of just someone moving so slow. Like they just don't get it is what I'm hearing. And I don't know that they're going to. I think it looks like you're accommodating them to some capacity this week. It looks like you're entertaining them is a better way to say it. You'll entertain whatever this conversation is. You kind of know where this is headed. You've been picking it up. This is an opportunity to kind of let things play out. Sometimes we don't need to be the person that checks someone, right? Like we don't need to a lot of times the universe will do it for us if we just shut the fuck up, right? There's this value of just like taking a step back, saying, thank you so much for this offer, whatever it is. I appreciate you. This is where I stand, not being afraid to say those things this week, and then really observing how do they respond. How do they respond? It kind of looks like it's a lot of the old. It's a lot of the same stuff over and over and over again. The way that they communicate, it's, I don't know. It feels like very self-gratifying. This is someone who always has to put themselves up or is always in victim mode. Like, woe is me. My life is so hard. I'm justified because of X, Y, and Z. And I don't know, it's, I think they're having a really hard time changing. Let me just clarify this one thing, because there's potential here. That's the other side of it. And I don't know if this is just the potential that you're hoping for, Pisces. Yeah, it's actually someone else's. It's someone else's. Whoever this earth energy is. Again, we have Queen of Pentacles popping up. It benefits someone else for you to give to them or to be available for them. It looks like it benefits whomever, whatever you're working with and dealing with. And I feel like you're kind of over it at this point because you want a little bit of the piece too. You want a piece of the pie too. And they might be a little greedy is what I'm hearing. Yeah, so my own energy. So being mindful of how you show up, right? This has been a huge learning lesson. Yes, we can be justified in our responses because of how people approach us, but at the same time, we're also responsible for our responses. And that's where, if you don't want to deal with their petty behavior, then don't feed into it, essentially. That's hard, though. It's really hard to bite your tongue, and that feels like that's kind of what you have a tendency to do in this dynamic is speak truth. It hasn't gotten you too far, and that's where I feel like Spirit's wanting you to kind of dial it down a little bit, be a little bit softer. Maybe if this is family or someone that you have to be around, it's think of it from that perspective, right? That concept, you catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar, right? So saying sweeter things, I'm not a huge proponent of puffing people up, but you can still validate things that you appreciate about them. Hey, thank you so much for doing that. Or I really hear what you're saying, how it would make you feel that way from my perspective, ... You know what I mean? There's just softer ways to approach conversation. There's a whole art to it, right? I'm not a professional by any means, obviously. Just listen to my readings. No. So intentions. Today is a fresh start. No matter how my day was yesterday, I can make today whatever I want. My intention for the day is, how do you want this to play out? How do you want this to play out? And instead of trying to force it, move the proverbial pieces on the chessboard. This is about saying, I can control myself. I'm going to manage myself. And then I'm going to see how this other person's situation is able to handle it. My intention is for there to be love and harmony. And so how do I need to get to that point? Again, this is not in a way to placate someone's bad behavior. If someone's being bad, obviously you're not afraid to call them out on it, so to speak. But I think sometimes when we call people out too much, it really takes away from the lightness of life, having fun, being a little bit more relaxed. Not everything has to be like, right? I don't know. It's hard to be an intuitive sign because it's easy to pick up the in between the lines, what someone's really saying without saying it, thinking, feeling, etc. But at the same time, if they're not saying it out loud, we need to give a benefit of the doubt. We all have thoughts we don't necessarily want to have, etc. And there is a way to find success in this. But I'm hearing this is like success for yourself. It's not necessarily giving in to someone else's demands. This is about playing it out in a way that honors you, Pisces, and like honors your heart, and then letting them, shoot themselves in the foot. Don't be the one to do it is essentially what this is saying. So I hope this reading helped. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I super appreciate you, all the support you bring to the channel. Definitely drop comments below if it resonated. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, a little TLC. I so appreciate you. Thank you for all the love and support once again. No, I'm sending it back your way.